Donald Trump's visit to the Persian Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates ends with a loud scandal back home in the United States of America. Because many people are now outraged by the fact that Qatar is planning to give the American president a luxurious airplane worth $400 million. However, this was merely the beginning, because now journalists have already uncovered information that Donald Trump is defending his own business interests in all three countries, promoting his own companies, his own business, and even his own cryptocurrency. And those deals that were made, to one degree or another, absolutely contribute to the growth of Donald Trump's personal business. Let's solve this together. I'm Alexi Pichi. Today is May 15th per the calendar. In this episode, we will discuss with you what personal business interests Donald Trump promoted in the Middle East. So, on Capitol Hill, where the United States Congress is located, more and more lawmakers from both parties support a ban on owning stocks while holding public office. But as for the White House, the president's initials are literally a stock ticker symbol. The fact that President Donald Trump has a family business, which is currently managed by his son Eric, now seems almost normal. However, a potential gift from Qatar in the form of a Boeing 747 for use as Air Force One has once again raised questions about the legality and appropriateness of the president receiving items from abroad. The plane will be intended for official use. But questions arose at a time when the Trump family business is already expanding its presence in the Middle East. And it turned out that Trump's visits to the Persian Gulf countries had an absolutely personal interest. One of the reasons why the idea of Qatar providing an aircraft for Trump to use as a presidential plane is attracting so much attention is that even many Republicans are not ready to approve this idea. For example, Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri stated the following: "I think we should have a big, beautiful plane, but I would like it to be made in the United States of America," hinting at the idea like, why should we accept such a gift from Qatar? Republican lawmakers who control Capitol Hill don't really approve of the idea of a gift from Qatar, but at the moment they seem ready to accept it. The Trump administration insists that the gift will be legitimate, basing this on a memo by former Qatari lobbyist and current United States Attorney General Pam Bondi Hooley, which has not yet been made public. That same senator, although he expressed mild disagreement with Trump, was more critical of Qatar, claiming that the country could have done more valuable things than giving the United States president an airplane. Another one of his quotes. For example, to stop harboring terrorists, Islamists, and jihadists who are trying to kill Americans wherever they can reach them. That would probably be at the top of my list. I mean Hamas, because many of the Hamas leadership are, and this is no secret, in the capital of Qatar, Doha. And similar criticism can be extended to Saudi Arabia, whose crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, according to American intelligence assessments, approved the killing of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. Now comes the most interesting part. There are documented facts that Trump has a portfolio of real estate deals concentrated in the Middle East and in countries he visited during his first major foreign trip of his second presidential term. Donald Trump's son, Eric, now heads the family business, which is working on plans to develop golf courses in Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. Donald Trump is currently located in those other countries for some reason. It is noted that an investment firm backed by the Emirates has agreed to use cryptocurrency launched by Donald Trump's crypto company for investments of $2 billion in a crypto exchange. A company associated with Trump, Zach Witkoff, the son of Steve Witkoff, who is Donald Trump's special representative in the Middle East, was a co-founder. This week it was reported that a little-known Chinese company announced investments in MEM coin, which once again belongs to Donald Trump's crypto company. Trump offered an invitation to a special event at his golf club in Virginia and a tour of the White House, to those who invest the most, attracting foreign investors' attention. Interesting, isn't it? Well, according to Eswar Prasad, an economist from Cornell University, the Trump family's involvement in the cryptocurrency sphere should be a cause for concern. You have a government official, no one else but the leader of the free world, who essentially creates and promotes an unchecked mechanism of financial speculation and then uses his position to promote it and gain direct profit. Prasad stated that due to weak oversight from Congress, which is controlled by Republicans, and Trump, who is responsible for financial regulators, Trump's actions are practically unchecked. Quote, "The question is, who will stop Trump and his family from such actions? And since he is the President of the United States, it's not obvious that anyone will be able to stop him at all." Nevertheless, that same Senator Cooley stated that Trump's announcement about deals involving foreign state investments in the United States is simply real trading. And further, his quote, "I don't think anyone believes that Donald Trump can be bought. I mean, why would Donald Trump need more money?" It's remarkable that these other countries now want to get closer to America again, adds Cooley. And he asserts that Trump should be allowed to do what serves the interests of the country. For example, to fulfill the Persian Gulf countries' promises to invest hundreds of billions in the United States. One of the people who apparently believes that Trump can in fact be bought is Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, who states the following: "The president is in the Middle East to collect tribute from these countries. He went to Qatar, the Emirates, and Saudi Arabia because they are willing to pay him money." In response to this, of course, the White House said that Chris Murphy is talking nonsense. And here is the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, saying it's downright funny that anyone in this room could even suggest that President Trump does anything for his own benefit. She says it's funny. And here is one of Trump's closest associates, Elon Musk, who managed to combine personal business with state affairs when he joined Trump's trip to the Middle East. Leavitt says it's funny to talk about this, but let's talk. Speaking on stage with the Saudi Arabian Minister of Communications and Information, Abdullah Al-Swaha, Elon Musk thanked the kingdom for the approval that belongs to Al-Swaha's company. He hinted that robot taxis could soon come to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia after the automaker began selling cars there in April of this year. Well, in general, there are no personal interests, you have to agree. In the United States, Democratic lawmakers demanded an investigation into corruption involving Elon Musk, citing a report this month that Lesotho had specifically approved it as part of its strategy for negotiations with Trump on tariffs. In no case should Donald Trump's achievements in actually concluding quite large trade deals with the parties of the Persian Gulf be underestimated. For example, Saudi Arabia signed agreements worth $600 billion, and Qatar's deals amounted to as much as $1.2 trillion. And there, the largest, simply record-breaking order was placed with an aircraft and engine manufacturing company for the planes that Qatar will be purchasing. And now it's with the Americans. There are a lot of important deals in the areas of security, defense capability, and generally strengthening the influence of the United States of America in this region. No one is underestimating this, and we have to give credit to the American president for being able to achieve this. But then there's no need to say that Trump isn't pursuing personal interests, because he actually is pursuing them in the Middle East. For example, when Donald Trump announced he would lift sanctions from Syria, it was during his meeting with the new Syrian president al-Shara. The day before, he stated that one of the conditions for lifting these sanctions would be reconstruction. Trump Tower? Where? In Damascus. He says, let Syria show us progress, we'll build the Trump Tower there and lift the sanctions from this country. And this intertwining of personal interests and politics is absolutely observed everywhere the American president gets involved. So this also shouldn't be kept quiet, and we need to talk about it as well. And now Donald Trump's family business, judging by everything, is thriving, and he clearly has interest in the Middle East. The issue of the gas sector in the Middle Eastern Riviera, as referred to by Donald Trump, remains unresolved. And today Trump again said that the United States should take the gas sector for itself. In fact, to evict the Palestinians from there, set up a resort, and then maybe let some of the Palestinians return there, but that's not guaranteed. He says they want to build a resort there. If he does it, who do you think will construct this new Middle Eastern Riviera? That's right, Donald Trump's family business, and for example, Steve Witkoff, who is also involved in real estate. I'll leave it at that. Share your opinion, your conclusions in the comments under this episode. Subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and don't forget to like. That's all. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye, everyone.